Well, guys, welcome back to Hindsight is 2020. I'm BK. As always, we're going to have Greg Nozar on the show here a little later. Guys, what is going on? Yo, Cliff Allen, what's up? Sean Hunt, what up? Jerry T, what up? Todd Patrick, what is up, y'all? I'm in Florida. In case you're wondering, why am I broadcasting from a hotel? This is where we're at. Yeah, down here doing some training. Hope the reception is good enough. Here, let me see if I can get Greg in here right quick. Yeah.
Great. What's up, everybody? What's going on, y'all? Live from Florida, man. Let's do it, man. This is great.
Fantastic.
The sheriff is in town, and I got my deputy.
Yeah, I'm not officially Florida tournaments, but you know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah, man. We're here live together, man. First time we've done a podcast together, man.
I know.
And, we usually were over the interwebs.
I know.
But we're here, man. Hope everybody's doing well out there, man. Trying to get this boy on the water.
Dude, I just have not had time. That's what couldn't even do the show yesterday, man. You were just
slammed with work and everything else, man.
Beer.
Yeah, slammed with work and all that stuff. But hope everybody's doing good, man. We're here in Florida. Blake's getting some work done, some training, and I'm here, and we're gonna have a good time tonight, man. Got a lot to talk about, man. Got a lot to talk about, dude.
We really do.
And man, where do we start? I mean, this is a show called HiNDsItE 2020. I just got back from Santee Cooper, an awesome dude, freaking awesome lake.
Yeah.
Man. And then we're gonna talk about Caddo, and then we're gonna talk about a subject I think you're gonna enjoy.
Okay.
We didn't talk about this, right? I want everybody's opinion on this, man, because I think this is going to light up the comment board. This is going to light it up. Do me a favor, share this link. Let everybody know we're having a good time tonight. Y'all come on, let's have a good time tonight, man.
Yeah, totally.
I mean,
totally. Yeah,
your bros are here.
Yeah, totally. So Greg and I actually did get to hang out. What was that? 2 days ago?
2 nights ago, yeah.
2 nights ago.
A little disc golf.
Yeah, got to play some disc golf, do a little pond hopping, old school style.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It was good. Clifton says roomies.
Roomies. You see that bed's a mess, right?
I told Greg, I was like, dude, this had to look horrible. You like come over to my hotel. You could walk up here with like a camera and stuff. The front desk lady's probably like, my God, what is happening?
Oh yeah. 2 dudes in a room. Yeah. Oh yeah.
2 dudes in a camera, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We are on the east coast of Florida, man. Miami's not too far away, so yeah, a lot of fun. But man, guys, straight up, let me tell you. Let's just get right into it, man. Let's just get right into the Santee Cooper. We first of all we had a bet.
We did have a bet.
We had a bet.
Yeah.
And I had 182.
Me, you, and Brad Case had a bet.
Exactly. I had 182. You had 185. Brad had 188. And it wound up being 192 or 193. So Brad wins.
Brad was the closest. He won that. Congrats to Brad. Brad doesn't get anything.
He doesn't he get like $50 in lures or something?
No, that's the deal. That's for
the viewers.
Yeah,
for the viewers.
Always.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Always for the viewers.
Yeah. So we'll pick a winner. John Mooney should have gotten his baits. John Mooney, if you're on, man, let us know you got some baits coming your way, man. But it should have been all delivered. I got Amazon, delivered immediately. So,
you should have them. Jerry T, if you don't have your baits, let us know.
Let us know, because Robert Brown dropped the ball on that.
We've told Robert. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows better. So you gotta let us know about that. But so Santee.
Yeah, Todd said 186.75. He was close too.
Dude,
so
yeah. We'll have to get Todd on for a show.
Dude, he's been nailing these.
I know.
Yeah.
But we gotta pick a tournament where Sadiqi's not fishing.
Mr. Blue Trophy, right?
He's gonna pick
yeah, he's got some inside information. But man, dude, so let me tell you about Santee. Okay, it's a world renowned, right? And again, another tournament to where we're following the elites. Or another pro tournament the week after. They were bed fishing. And dude, like the creeks that they were bed fishing is called Potato Creek.
Yep.
The next 3 days, those fish left the beds.
Yeah.
The creek was empty.
Yep.
I mean, it was unbelievable, right? I mean, like all the spatter dock, all the beds, there wasn't a single. I mean, dude, it was tough in there, man.
Well, yeah, and when you were pre-fishing, you weren't talking to people that were going into that creek and having a good time.
No.
But you were talking to lots of people that that really were on good fish.
Absolutely. And a lot of them, told me, they wouldn't tell me where they're at, but they said, they were always in Marion, I mean, they said, we're in Marion. The same thing happened with the elites. A lot of the time they dropped the water on the bottom part of Moultrie, right? It was down like a foot and a half. Well, no, I'm sorry. Let me say this. It was about a foot, 8 inches to a foot. And it was like this area that we usually fish. It's got the biggest freaking gators in the world in there. It's got snakes everywhere. It's in the swamps. And this is where the big bass lie. And I went there the first day. And I showed pictures of this area. It's just beautiful. Yeah. Frog heaven, right?
Of course.
No fish to be found, man. None.
Dude, that's been like everywhere in Florida I've been.
Seriously, just none. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then, I started looking at, the walls and seeing that the water dropped down quite a bit. And I was like, man, these fish are just scattered, man. They're just trying to find deeper water, a little bit more cover. And we just couldn't get them on. We couldn't find beds. We couldn't find shallow fish. We couldn't find deep fish. Myself, Matt Conant, and Brad, we all went out to the deep part. We were trying to find, offshore, structure, points, jerk baiting, anything we could find. Yeah, we just couldn't find the fish down at Moultrie. So we started concentrating on Marion. And dude, once we kind of pinpointed a little bit of these areas that, like cypress and some reeds and some grass and things like that.
Yes.
I mean, then pre-fishing started getting good.
Yeah. I was like, you caught what? 3 fish?
Four fish over 20.
4 fish over 20.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were having good days. And, people were kind of dialing it in.
Sure.
And of course, freaking cold front comes through.
Classic.
Crappy weather. You know what I mean? 30-mile-an-hour winds, and you have no motor, right?
Well, that's the elite. It's the eliteness of the Hobie Trail, my friend.
Look, it was brutal not having a motor. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, everybody's on the same page. Everybody's doing the same thing. I get it, but those who have motors and are used to, dude, I literally was casting and reaching for my motor because I was getting blown. Dude, you know what I mean?
Okay, you gotta stop practicing with the motor.
It was unbelievable. I mean, seriously, during the tournament, I kept on trying to figure out my motoring position, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in my Hobie, not my Old Town, and dude, it was like the first couple hours, it was like that. It was terrible, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? But needless to say, Saturday was tough, man. I mean, the guys who got them, and our pre-fishing changed once we find and confirm that the winds are going to blow 30 plus. You have to change your pre-fishing, right? You have to change your mindset, and you got to go to places that.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that, because the guy that ended up catching, what was it, 105 and a quarter, day two, yeah, he did not change.
I know he didn't.
He risked it for the biscuit.
He did.
And he got him.
He did.
He got him good.
Yeah, 108. The guy went out in the middle of the lake.
That's what I'm saying. He ended up getting 108.
Yeah.
But at the start of the day, he was 105 and a quarter. He said he caught almost all his fish.
In the morning.
20-minute stretch, there was no wind, and he just waxed them.
Yeah.
Waxed them.
Here's the deal. I started in this one area. Actually, me and Conant started this one area, and I just couldn't take it anymore. We started at a ramp, guys. Let me tell you this story. I started at a ramp. It's Spires or Spears. It's kind of South Moultrie. And, we found this area. It's called the Etall Swamp. And we found this area, man, and it was fire during preseason.
I'm laughing at it. Blackbeard and Clifton.
What are they saying? Dude, my system's clean, bro. Yeah, I'm good.
That was their follow-up responses we were talking about, bringing the camera.
Yeah. So, we pre-fished this area. It was on fire, and a lot of great anglers were at this ramp. And me and Conant were at the ramp first, and then this bass boat comes in here, and they're like, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know there's 40 guys or 40 people fishing for a tandem championship." Here at the boat ramp, and they're all going to be there on Saturday morning. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding. And again, 30 plus mile an hour winds, everybody's going to get close. They're not going across the lake. They're not going anywhere far.
Right.
And we knew that we're going to get bombarded by these these boats.
Okay.
So 12 of us wound up launching from this ramp, kayakers. And before we started, This guy, we were out in like getting ready to go launch. This guy starts shouting in the parking lot. He's like, "You effing kayakers, we're not stopping for you guys. Y'all better get out of our effing way," and all this other stuff. We're like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like, we're gonna start our day like this, bro. And then he goes, "Well, you guys need to learn to effing park." He goes, "This is a boat ramp, not a kayak ramp." He goes, "That you don't take up spots for your kayaks. These are for real, boats." And I'm just going like,
oh, I
yeah,
see.
talking smack. And it's like, here we go. Boats versus kayaks. These boaters think that they're, God's gift to fishing. Just because we don't have, aluminum boats with motors, we're just like trash.
Well, I mean, I don't know anybody that's ever caught, a 20-pound sack in a kayak during a tournament.
Yeah, yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
impossible.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. And
and they know that just as like, God, it's got to piss you off, right? You buy this boat, you're running around, you can't catch shit, and you see these kayakers catching fish. I'd be mad too. That's all I'm saying.
So
I'd be mad too.
Yeah, and so a couple guys, we were fishing with were kind of getting spun out about it. We just decided to just go.
Yeah.
Well, then, okay, so Conan and I get to this one spot, right? First spot. He takes the left side, I take the right. And this spot's no bigger than like a standard parking lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we caught, a couple fat bass out of there. We got out of there. Well, in comes these two boats, like, one after another.
This is during a tournament?
This is during a tournament,
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
We're getting ready to fish. We hear them revving up. They're coming in this cove, and they split me and Matt.
Oh.
Like two boats.
Yeah.
One was close to Matt, and one was close to me. And we were working our way around the bank and then going towards the middle. And they were just like putting their trolling motor on high and just, it's only 2 feet deep, dude. And they're like muddying up the entire water and everything else. And, just completely screwing up the bass. And one guy throws a freaking jig in the cypress tree and, starts trying to wiggle it out. He has to go in there and try to get it where these bass were actually at.
Yes.
And it was, it was just like, okay, I'm not going to just like start this way. And then Conant loses a 19.5 right in front of the guy. And then he loses like another 15 and he gets another fish. And, he's starting to get, spun out a little bit.
Man, people ask me all the time, like, like Fork. Clifton and I, Clifton, what's up, by the way, man? See you in the chat.
What's up, Carl and Russell? What's up, boys?
Clifton and I live close to Fork. I never go fun fish Fork because that is the day you're in for.
Yeah.
You were just in for that.
Yeah.
The second you launched, the boaters just.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
man.
So then there's another I couldn't take this anymore, man. Like now I'm starting to get upset, right?
Getting tilted.
And I'm just like, I'm out because I can't fish. Like, no offense, I don't like tandem fishing. I don't like pair fishing. No offense to Conan. I love the dude. I just can't fish around people, man. I gotta just do my thing, right?
It can definitely get in your head,
Yeah. Like we're not a team. We're not, like sharing fish or, we're not anything like that.
I don't think it's about that. It's just like, when you're doing that in a tournament, especially like if you like Conan's getting bit.
Yeah.
You're not. And
right.
You're over there being like,
it's in my head.
Start being like, what's he doing?
It's in my head.
Doing the right thing.
We're doing the exact same thing.
Well,
right?
Yeah. It starts.
Yeah. And so I leave, I go to another cove. Right. And in this particular area, it was like the sweet spot. It's milfoil. Under like submerged milfoil.
Mm-hmm.
And my bite I keyed on was throwing a spook on top of milfoil and having them come up.
Yeah.
Okay. Even in the wind, it was going to work out. It was kind of like fishing here in Florida. And so I was like, there are giants. And I'm going to get my bag easy this morning. Like they're going to come up out of this milfoil and they're going to just slam this freaking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get to this spot. And of course, 3 boats are in this cove. Okay.
Nice.
It's great. So I'm like, they're fishing their pads on the banks, and I'm throwing right in the middle of the channel, trying to get bit. Nothing. Pickerels. I caught 6 pickerels in this place. All the pickerels is tearing my bait up. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be great. Well,
I saw a great meme of Will Smith going, "Keep my MF and jackhammer out of your mouth," and then it was a pickerel.
Dude, it was so bad. And so again, your boy starting to get spun out a little bit, starting to think, I'm like, okay, fine. Here it is. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 hours on the belt. No bites and bass bites. It's all pickerel. I'm getting a little bit salty. You know what I mean?
A little tilted, a little triggered.
Yeah. And then I get to this area that me and Matt found. It's like these backwater ponds back in this area. Dude, you have to actually accidentally find this place.
Yeah.
It looks just like Caddo back there, okay? It's like it opens up to this ponds, and it's nothing but cypress trees and submerged, like thick milfoil, right?
Okay.
There's no shot boats are getting in there. Like, no shot. You have to like pick up your paddle and paddle in there.
Yeah. Pick up your drive and all that.
Yeah. There's 2 bass trackers back there. I'm like, how did you guys get back here? I'm like, this is crazy. They had to pick up their freaking trolling motors and paddle in there. There's no chance they're in there. And I talked, and so I go to one guy. I'm like, how did you guys get back in here? And it's Boomhauer. He's like, I'm just looking for beds around here. I'm like, you in the tournament? He's like, no, I'm just fun fishing. I'm like, dude, I'm in a tournament, man. Like, you mind if I kind of like, get through this?
Yeah.
And he's like, I try to catch 1 or 2, but they're just not biting this top water around. But I'm not giving up. I'm like, all right, dude, do your thing. I'm fishing all around you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I caught another freaking pickerel, and I go back to this back pond, dude. Again, secret sauce, like we found, right? Yeah. We didn't even hit this in pre-fishing. I just saw it on the map. I'm like, dude, why don't we not go back there? So I go back there. Another freaking bass tracker is looking for beds back there. I'm like, no shot, dude. I'm like, no shot. And I'm like, okay, now I'm just kind of like, now I'm really irritated. You know what I mean? And so anyway, I'm just like, okay, fine. Just breathe. Just, do your thing. I fished my way out. Again, no fish. And so I fish back, and then now it's about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and the wind is absolutely screaming at that point, right? Mm-hmm. It's blowing 30 plus, and I'm getting hammered trying to get back to the ramp.
Yeah, but let's talk about the most important thing. At this point, you're still holding a
0.
Big
fatty zero. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and not happy about it. Well, another thing is I had the bubbles, man. Like, dude, like I had to make a decision, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because there's like I gotta hit the ramp, man. Like I gotta go. Like it's an emergency. Like at that point, And I was like, I had like 5 layers on because it was cold. I had I had my bibs and my pants and everything. I was like, oh my God, this is going to happen right here, right now. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. So I run out, get to the ramp, and I'm running out. Thank God there's a bathroom there. Well, the men's bathroom's locked. I'm like, no shot.
No way.
Well, here's another thing. There was a women's pavilion meeting going on at this ramp, like out in this park. I'm like, I don't care. I ran into the women's bathroom, locked the door, and dude, it was like, it was Dumb and Dumber, dude. It was bad. I was like, sorry, ladies. I triple flushed, trying to be nice, but I just blew their crap up, dude. What a
gentleman.
Blew their crap up. If any lady was in there, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize. I tried to do everything I could to make it better, but it just didn't happen. So it happened, man.
Dude, yeah. At Palestine, same thing.
Yeah.
Sweet God, what I did to that tree.
Oh, my God.
Not good.
Dude.
But there was no shot I was making it back to the ramp. I could barely kick my pedal drive.
Oh, it was like this. You're in slow motion, and I'm like dropping the drawers, and just like jumped on the can, and just as soon as I hit the can, it was like, oh my God, dude. Yeah. So anyway, so I survived that. Okay. Yeah, sure. At that point, I'm like, okay, I know I hadn't zeroed, but at least I drained the soul, And so anyway, I get up and I go, and dude, my backup spot, my secret backup spot, I found this slough back when I fished KBF 2 years ago. Again, same situation. We had 30-mile-an-hour winds. The slough's very protected, and this slough is known for a lot of big fish coming in and spawning in this area. Yeah. And you're always going to catch a fish or two because there's always this fry garters or something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, no shot anybody knows about this slough because it's so there's a main ramp and then there's this back ramp. Okay. And so you get in this back ramp and I get there and there's 4 kayakers in this damn slough, dude. 4! I'm like, how'd you find this place? Guillermo and Christine were there in the morning.
Let's just call it what it is. There are no secret spots anymore ever.
Yeah.
There's just not. Every tournament I fished, I'm like, even though I take the time and I go find something that's crazy, I'm like, oh, no one's gonna find this. They're there.
They're there.
They're there.
There's no secret on the lake. There's no secret.
They're there. And I know my boy Clifton is going to love this. Man, I normally do better when I just fish shit that just is like every day. It's close to the ramp. It's just available stuff. It's stuff everybody else overlooks. You know, you literally go in to a spot. You try to turn it.
Yeah.
Are you warm?
Oh, I'm super hot in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was loud. I turned it off.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Wouldn't mess up with the mic or whatever.
Man, I'm sweating. Man,
yeah.
The fat is rolling off right now.
You're screaming.
So
you're screaming. I'm sure.
Oh, I know. I don't give a crap about the neighbors, you know. So anyway, I'm just sitting there going, man, dude, this is not happening, right? So anyway, these guys are coming out off the lake now, dude. We're on the east side of the lake now. The wind is blowing from the west, and it's blowing 30. And like, there's no shot in going out in the middle of the lake, right? And I mean, like I did a video. There's like 2 or 3 footers going, you know, out there, and it's just insane. So I was fishing the slough, getting these. It was so weird, man. Like, I don't know if you guys saw Lambert's video, like how he fished on Saturday.
I didn't.
So he had done this video of, like he made a mistake. It had circle hooks on, and instead of like finesse hooks, like he was throwing a like a Cinco, a whack-and-work Cinco. Yeah. He tied on a circle hook rather than a regular hook, and he was missing all these fish. Well, I had a regular hook on, and I was still missing fish, man. Like, they were eating, and I talked to so many guys about this. They were eating the worm, but they were like not taking the hook. They weren't like, they were like picking the worm up and like shaking it, but not fully committed it. And so I had like 6 or 7 bites in this slough like that, and I could only get 1 pin. Now I'm just like, okay, this is just not my day. You know what I mean? So anyway, needless to say, just sucked Saturday.
Not good.
No.
Not good. And that's all that matters, because it's a 2-day tournament when we fish Hobie.
Yeah.
You don't do the business Saturday. Can't win the tournament Saturday, but you can definitely lose it. That was me at Toledo. Like, I just
Greg not in my field. Yeah, it was frustrating. It was absolutely frustrating. So then Sunday comes. I mean, you accept your fate, right? You're not going to win the tournament. You're not going to cash. You're not going to, but all you can do at that point is either one of 2 things. Don't fish the next day. But I paid a lot of money to be in the tournament.
Yeah,
right?
I think for me, I say in terms of obviously anything can happen in these tournaments. It's too hard to say that.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish Hobie would have a cut, because I know from fishing those big tournaments that some people have people that are not in the running, and they use them to go pre-fish other areas. Right. During the tournament, because you can communicate with other anglers on the water, which is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But for me, I just think, if you're not top, it's a 200-person event. The Hobie's just been selling them out like mad, which is great. Like, I love that. But if you're not top 100 after day 1, shouldn't be allowed on the water. That's my opinion. It's my opinion.
But
I know people won't like that.
But anytime you have a big bass pot for $500, that's what kept me on the water, right? Like, at that point, I'm like, I got to salvage something. You know what I mean? They don't have the big bass pot.
I get it. I just, that's just my thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's too close at the top. I don't want to see it.
I agree with you. And so that actually played to my mindset on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So I had no idea, like, where the leaders were. I had no clue. Mm-hmm. I went to a ramp, and I just said, screw it. I'm going to pick a place on a map. I've never, didn't pre-fish it.
Right.
And I'm just going to go for it. It's going to be full send and just go fishing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I found it. It was great. And then Adam Reiser's at the ramp. Okay. Yep. And he's like 3rd or 4th. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh no, dude. Like, seriously, I picked a ramp where some of the leaders were.
Yeah.
So I had no idea where they were fishing. All I know is I'm going to go up there. And if they're in that area, I'm out. Like, I'm not going to, wreck their stuff. You know what I mean? I was very cognizant of that. Thank God they went somewhere else. But I went way north, like 2 miles north. And I found this area. It looked good. But there was a current coming through. I'm like, oh my God, thank goodness. Current is king. It was only like a half a mile current. But I kind of treated it like I did the Potomac River, where you have an outgoing tide. I started picking these little spots apart that I thought would hold bigger bass for ambush points.
Yeah.
Well, dude, like 10 casts in, the 10th cast, your boy got a 23.5.
Boom.
Right off the bat.
Steve Field says, "Wow, go home if you're not top 100." Yeah, Steve. Like, I think they should have a cut. I think there should be a cut in Hobie. I think every multi-day event should have cuts.
I agree. I agree with that.
If you're somebody that is in the top one, it is just a lot better, like in terms of traffic. And ask anybody that's been in a 2-day tournament that's been near the top, like your fish are just less pressured. It's not that other people are doing it on purpose. It's just a fact, man. If you have the field, there's less pressure on your fish. It only makes the second day more exciting. And like, honestly, if you're mad that you didn't make top 100, guess whose fault that is?
Yeah, I mean,
yours. Like, that's it.
We're right. No, I agree with that, man. Like, especially again, I was pretty cognizant that the leaders were around that area. Like, if I saw them anywhere near me on the water, I'm out. Like, literally, like I heard again, going back to Lambert, I heard like he was in a slough. The media boat comes in, and he thought it was like, "What are you guys doing here?" He thought it was for him. Yeah. And he's like, "No, the leader's in this slough," and Lambert immediately left.
Yeah,
like, you should.
Good on him.
You know what I mean? Like, you should do that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it is. It's good on him, and that's the kind of thing that like you're talking about. Like, you should, like what we say, day one's for everybody, day two's for the leaders, right?
That's just my opinion, man. And like, there are people that would be like, I paid for this tournament, I want to fish it, and like, that is totally fine. I get it. Like, I get what people come from with that. It's just for me, for the integrity of the tournament. I would just like to see any multi-day tournament have cuts.
You got some disagreements here, man. Steve and James and everybody else. Yeah, I mean, look,
and
that's what we're not here to change your mind. But like, again, anytime, like I fished because I wanted the big bass pot. You know what I mean?
And that's fine. Like when big bass pot's a thing, or like Hobie does like their comeback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they want people to fish second day. I'm not saying Hobie doesn't.
Right.
What I'm saying is that Bassmaster has cut. They do a 4-day tournament. They have cuts. KBF National Championship does cuts. With Hobie, with it being a 2-day, I would just like to see them have a cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Bass on Fork, the 2-day. Fork was crowded. It was low, man. Like the ramps were crowded. There was a bunch of guys showing up to areas I was fishing that were not there day one.
Right. So, like, exactly. And that actually happened to Santeeeeeee on day 2. And I'm not going to mention who did what, but Santeeeeeee called me. He's like, dude, you're not going to believe what happened. Exactly. He caught 4 fish at 82 inches, and somebody came encroaching in on a spot. Actually, dude, raced him to the spot.
Yeah.
Raced him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Scott, what about AOI points? Yeah, man, that's just part of like fishing with the cut. Like this is, and what I'm talking about, guys, I'm not like being like, oh, you're like dumb if you want to keep fishing or whatever. What I'm saying is that pretty much every elite fishing trail that we have has cuts in like the traditional bass world. And like, that's part of it. Like if you miss a cut, that hurts. Like, I know we're not golf, but I liken fishing to golf a lot. If you have a bad tournament and you don't make the cut, like that hurts your points.
Yeah.
That hurts your pro points.
Yeah.
And like, that's part of it. Like there's no like, oh, well, I had a horrible day, but now I can throw the caution of the wind. And like, yes, that's a different dynamic of it. Like when you have to keep your points up and there's a cut line, you damn sure better get your fish.
Well, let me say this. Like there's guys that fished, they were fishing like with 2 or 3 fish, right? And it's like look at Vinny Ferreira, for instance. Okay, you get 53 inches on the first day, you're kind of like, there's no shot I'm winning this. Okay,
right. Totally.
You're thinking there's no shot, and you might even be in the money.
Brian Howlett Fork.
Yeah, exactly. And then the dude puts up 105 inches and gets a fat check.
Yep.
So again, there's 2 sides to it, but never ever give up, dude. You know what I mean?
I know.
But like me, I had a 15-inch fish. Like I had, like, dude, all I wanted to do was grab the hogs. Yeah. I didn't care about limits. A limit was going to do me 0 good, right? Yep. I mean, it would have been nice, like, okay, yeah, that's great. You know, what you call it the confidence limit, you know, the useless confidence limit.
Ego limit.
But I mean, I was trying to go after the big bass, and I was a ½ inch short, but it is what it is.
And like, yes, you're right. Like it does happen. Like at Fork, you know, Hal had 2 fish.
Yeah.
He caught 5 fish the next day, went to like 8.
Yeah.
I mean, insane.
Yeah.
But even that tournament, even with 2 fish, he was still top 100.
100%.
He was still top half.
Yeah, no.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I got you. So, But I'll say this, man. A guy from Canada actually wound up winning it, man. Like Nathan Conley, which is super impressive.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
So cool.
Super impressive. Again, your top names. Russ figured him out. Adam figured him out. Cody Milton figured him out.
Cody Milton's a great fisherman.
Exactly, man. I mean, so my hat's off to these guys because I mean it was tough, guys. It was fun, but it was so much fun. Like I think I caught 6 fish over 20 inches that week, man. I mean, I don't think of anywhere like I haven't caught that anywhere. You know,
maybe Florida, maybe.
No, but I mean within that span.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like I've caught fish, you know, in different areas. You know, like different lakes in Florida. But to have that kind of pre-fishing week and then actually catch a 23.5 during tournament time, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? I'm cool with it. I had a great time, man. It was good.
Well, so I sure hope all of y'all understand what I'm saying about the cut line. It's not like I'm saying like, this is I am upset with you if you do fish day 2. Like if you paid your money, man, you do whatever you want. I'm just saying that I would like to see tournaments move forward with cut lines on multiple day events. Because I just think it betters the product. And I think, you know, when you're fishing AOI, it really makes you like knuckle down to make that cut line.
So one guy did something crazy, dude. Like the guy that caught 108 inches. Now, after the conditions on Saturday, the conditions were going to repeat itself again on Sunday. Not as bad, but bad, right?
Yeah.
The guy went out to the middle of the lake, started flipping a Rage Menace out in these like deep cypress trees, and he was gonna like fight the weather back.
Yep.
I mean, that's nuts, but it's what he did. I mean, like it was like,
got himself a fat old chick.
He did too, man. I'm like, dude, good on you, man. You know, I don't think I would have been like I haven't Hobie Outback.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different from having a PA-14.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. I have both. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Adam Patron.
What's going on?
Oh yeah, Scott. I know you got it, homie. I was just talking about I know it makes people upset with that. Like,
dude, you're blowing up our ratings.
I don't think it's that.
No,
I don't think it's that. That's just
no. You're
like
good,
I mean,
man.
I am for kayak fishing taking steps to make things harsher, I guess. Like, I don't want it to be such a feel good all the time sport. I want it to be like stricter.
You got to pay your dues, man. And look, here's the only person to blame yourself. I caught one fish on Saturday. It's nobody's fault but mine. Like, what would I have done different? I don't know, man. I don't know.
And I'm talking to y'all, somebody that skunked at Toledo Bend, but I didn't fish day 2.
Yeah.
I wanted to go fun fishing, but I did not want to catch somebody else's fish.
Yeah.
But that's just me, man.
But let me say this. I had zero guilt of catching that 23.
Oh, you should.
Like, zero. You know what I mean?
You should, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just different. But if Hobie had been like, hey, man, you're not top 100. Thanks for coming out and fishing with us. Like,
I would have zero problem with that.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
It's part of it. It's part of like making it more.
Yeah, no, I get you, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, what would I have done? I don't know, man.
Hey, Sean Dwyer says I can't believe the lake shut off. Well, in comparison to the week leading up, yeah, man.
He's right, man.
Sean,
he's right.
I know, dude. We've seen what you've done on that lake.
Yeah, so no doubt, man. It was frustrating, but anyway. So now, dude, we transitioned to Caddo. Now, this is in your backyard, man. Like your house. KBF is at Caddo this week. I got a lot of friends fishing Caddo.
Yeah.
I talked to Eric Polenz at Caddo. And yeah, I mean, dude, struggling the first couple days he got there.
Man,
what's going on at Caddo, dude? There's like no vegetation, no pads, no nothing. What's the deal?
See, this is like, I have fished Caddo once. I got to pre-fish it one day, and I fished a tournament there. I actually got to fish that tournament with Adam Patron. John Mooney won it. But when we went there was not vegetation.
Gotcha.
So all these guys being like, there's not vegetation, the fish aren't biting.
I guess they're kind of remembering what happened in the national championship.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
There's vegetation all over.
Yeah, but different time frames. So like when I fished it was late March.
Yep.
It's our time frame we're in right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Early April.
Yep.
Late March. And so these guys are going down there looking for grass. And I'm like, well,
why?
Not grass.
Yeah.
It's not the time where the grass is grown up.
Right.
You may find some or like, giant Sylvania, but I don't typically fish giant Sylvania. It's just not grown. But I'm not sure.
Oh, they just sprayed.
And that could be a thing too. I mean, Texas Park. I mean, because that lake has a ton of giant Salvinia. Like, I'm sure they spray it a ton. The thing I'm confused about is the guys pre-fishing that are struggling. Do they not see the cypress trees?
Right.
There's only a couple of them in the lake.
That's where I'd be fishing.
There's just a couple cypress trees.
just a few.
Just a few.
Just a few. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? Caddo is a place that you can get absolutely like mesmerized and lost, and it feels like you're kind of like just doing the mundane routine, flipping cypress everywhere you go.
But like, it's the same thing when you fish like a huge grass mat or pads or whatever. Like when you start, yes, it is just this all-encompassing like cypress forest. But when you start getting bit, you're like, oh, it's like these type of knees, or it's trees this wide.
Give them the juice, man. Tell them what's going on. Tell them what to do, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm breaking it down right now. I mean, because I'd never been there. So I put my kayak in there and I'm like, holy shit. There's 8,000 cypress trees in front of me.
Right.
So I just put on a worm and a jig and went to flipping. And I mean, you know, the first 2 hours I was there, I started flipping all these trees, flipping everything. And it's like, I get bit on one. And I'm like, okay, let's look at this tree for a minute. It's got knees out of the water. I threw it up on the knees. Okay, I'm not flipping any other trees. I have ones that have knees out of the water. And it got to like maybe an hour and a half later, I could literally just paddle up to a tree and be like, there's one on that. Whack. I'm going to that one next. Whack. I mean, just catching them left, right, center. And so, I mean, during the tournament, even like the next day, the pattern changed a little bit.
Right.
But I had a starting point, and I just didn't catch the size. I mean, I caught shitloads of fish.
Right.
You know, I think I ended with like 88 inches or 87 and a half or something like that.
So I heard they're catching a ton of males right now.
And I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are. But there's still like channels through Caddo. I mean, so if you're catching males up on the, I mean, you know the deal.
I know the deal. I mean,
back off.
You gotta know where those females are, man. I mean, you know, again, they're staging. You know, you got to know the staging areas. I mean, look, like I was talking to Polens, he said he thinks. I think several other people said somebody's going to catch a bag like 105 inches, and then it's going to be like drop dramatically from there, and then you're going to have a bunch of people that's going to absolutely suck. It's kind of like it happened. It happened at Santee Cooper.
Yeah, that's every tournament like this year right now. Like it's just been that way.
Yeah, that's true. But the weather, my God, the weather has just brutalized these tournaments.
Man, you know, if I was at Caddo right now, something I may be doing that is like a little, if you want to be different, if you don't want to flip cypress, it's not your game. I would be taking a big white swim bait, like a big glide bait, or bull shad.
Make them come up,
almost not quite top water, but really close, and burning it by that cypress because I bet you catch some big females doing that.
Nice, dude.
I would be. I mean, I'm not saying go like buzzbait or frog yet. If you want to dabble, if you think they'll come up that far, maybe.
Right.
But like I'd be testing out the swim baits for sure.
Right. Well, again, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Y'all tell me what in the comments. Tell me what your interest you think is gonna wind up winning Caddo, dude.
And that's exactly like what James Reed and I are saying. Like 80% of the fish he caught were post spawn.
Wow.
And so that's what I'm talking about with that swim bait.
Right.
Because I think you can catch both pre-spawners.
James, that's good info.
And post spawners doing that, and that's what I would be doing.
Right.
Like Chatterwagon, everybody's gonna be Chatterwagon, and I'm not sure that's a.
You know, I got little tricks of the trade. You know, like the locals have there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Caddo's fun. It's unique, but again, it's all about where you're at and what you do, man. I mean, it's fun. I mean, like a lot of these guys up north, dude. Like I was talking to what's his name up in Michigan. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. No, his guy. He's the teammate. I can't remember. Anyway, dude, he threw a Ned rig in the cypress trees. And he wound up finishing like 5th in the KBF national championship. I was there, but those freaking things don't see Ned rigs. You know, he lost like 40 Ned rigs doing it. But he wound up fishing a bunch of Ned rigs and I smoked them, dude.
I have a thing for him if he wants to know how to fish wood with like the small things.
Zach Solaire, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Zach Solaire. It's called a shaky head. You can throw that instead of a head rig, and you won't lose as many.
Right.
But like you could be throwing like a Kitech or a mag draft, like a big underspin. I think that worked great. Or a big glide bait, like a big white glide bait around the cypress. I think that would do great.
Hindsight 2020. I should have saved my money and bought a new fish finder. That's juice, Carl. Awesome. But so anyway, comment. Y'all tell me what inches you think is going to win each day. I would be hesitant to say, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go that high, man. I don't know if it's going to go like over 100, man. I'm going to say like 94.
I'm going to say 97 today.
Okay.
Somebody has like 103, 104 inch day and like a 95 inch day.
I got you. Yeah.
That's just what I think. I mean, because like even when we fished it and it was like we fished it, it was brutal. Like tornado the day before.
That's what happened today.
Horrible.
They get smoked today by storms.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And those fish were shut down, and Mooney still put up 94.
Right.
And he'd been throwing up like 104, 103
right.
like regularly.
Yeah.
And Caddo's too good a fishery, man.
It is. But here's another thing too. Like they opened it up to like Bistino and all these other Blakes and stuff like that. Yeah. Don't you think they should just keep it on Caddo and just be done with it, man?
I didn't realize for this event they were opening it.
They did.
That's cringe.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's not.
There's not enough anglers, I don't think, that you need to open it up like that. Caddo can hold a lot of anglers.
Yeah. So there is a local trail. There is Northeast Texas there. There is a like Louisiana event there. I think the same day. But it's just an opportunity for those guys to double dip.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to have like some KBF guys that want to double dip or triple dip, and they're going to stay on Caddo. But I think the guys on Bistino actually have the advantage.
Yeah. Maybe. You know what, though? I don't think so. Because, look, Bistino is not – it's still not – I mean, it's not drawn down the way it was in the national championship. It's
right.
It's back to half pool.
Yeah.
And if you haven't fished Bistino with water in it,
yeah.
Good luck to y'all. I hope. Listen, if you are fishing in Caddo, you hope everybody goes to Bistino.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
Maybe,
like go to Bistino and get your zero.
Maybe,
because dude, like it's a different lake, man. It's not shooting fish in a barrel like it was in the national championship.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
but I still think like 97.
Ooh, Todd says 99. Scott says 98. James says 92, 94. I'm with James. Right on.
Man, guys, like 99, 98 a day. That's huge.
A lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot.
For sure. All right, let's get into something juicy. Okay. You don't know this topic? Okay. I want to get y'all's opinion on this, and I'm gonna smoke it. I'm gonna come out firing.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Live scope. Okay.
Sure.
Y'all people with live scope, and the pros with live scope. I get it. I understand why you're doing it. But from an entertainment standpoint and professional fishing standpoint, it's the worst thing to watch. Now, listen, I watched Redcrest a little bit. Yeah, I watched the Elites.
Yeah.
It sucks watching them with their heads down, casting out a jerkbait and trying to chase fish. And I'll tell you what's going to do. And this is what I want to get y'all's opinion on this. It's going to kill co-anglers. Co-anglers are not going to put up with professional bass boaters watching their stupid live scope all day long, chasing fish while these guys are sitting in the back trying to catch fish. It's forward-facing sonar. Here's what's going to happen. Co-anglers are going to get tired of it. And I think the co-anglers are going to – the co-angling is going to slowly die off. You know what's going to do? It's going to increase kayak bass fishing. Mark my word. Am I right or am I wrong?
Man,
Rodney Kennan says Bistino's a foot and a half above, and Caddo is above pool. 1.4.
I think it just helps both, like with okay.
What do you think, dude?
Yeah, so I think I've actually talked about live scope on here before. This is just my opinion, obviously. Like I said. Like when it comes down to like competition and fishing, I'm like pretty harsh about like how I would like things to be. I think LiveScope is an amazing guiding tool. I think it is an amazing practice tool. I do not want it allowed in any competitive setting. That's just me. If you're someone who paid for it, you're like, oh, Blake, you don't have it. You're jelly, lol, whatever. Yeah. I don't care, man. Say I'm jealous. Say I don't know how to use it. Yeah. All that stuff. That's perfectly fine. I just don't want to see it in competitive setting. I just don't like it. And guys that have it, the worst thing they can say about it is,
Guess some guys agreeing with you.
I said, the worst thing when I asked them, like, is it a double-edged sword? You can see the fish. Are you not moving off spots? They're like, man, you can stare at it for 5 hours and not catch a fish. Well, guess what, man? I do that without live scope.
John Fox is the co-angling champion. Was a co-angling champion. Won like 50 grand. John, comment down below. Is a co-angler who won the championship. Do you want to be a part of a boater going around chasing live scope and jerk baiting stuff that's forward-facing sonar, and this guy's just going around chasing fish all day long while you're stuck in the back of the boat catching hopefully some leftovers?
Yeah,
dude, the co-anglers aren't going to put up with this crap anymore, man. Like, no chance.
Yeah, but like I said, so like from the competitive standpoint, like that's when they're like, Blake, I might spend 5 hours looking at fish that aren't going to bite. I'm like, dude, we do that we don't have forward-facing photos.
I mean, we can see it on our 2Ds.
Yes, we can see it on 2D.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, God, these pads look juicy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, 3 hours later, I don't have a fish. Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
When you're using your eyes, your 2D, forward-facing. So that's all the same weakness to me. So, like, that's not enough of a drawback to say, oh, wow, you're at such a disadvantage from that.
Yeah.
It's just it's the same thing.
But you're right. But I think, again, I mean, like, you ever seen John Levitz, in the Wedding Singers behind the curtain, and he goes, they've gone mad, and I'm reaping all the benefits. That's going to be, like, all the TDs from, like, kayak fishing. Because the co-anglers are going to be, look, like, the reason why they're co-anglers is because they can't afford a boat, typically, and all the expenditures that go along with it. You know what I mean?
Or the tournament.
Or the tournament, $45,000 to to be a professional, but they have that professional experience by being able to fish with them.
Sure.
But they can also scratch that itch way cheaper in kayak fishing.
I think more and more people are just finding that out anyways.
I agree.
Like, if you have the itch to fish competitively and you want to get bodied like Mike Iaconelli did.
You know who brought this up?
Like,
me and Garrett Morgan were talking about this. Garrett, I'm gonna give Garrett all the credit in the world for this topic.
Okay.
Because he was telling me about some rumblings that was going on in Arkansas, and and he was watching professional fishing, and he was talking about the live scope in kayak fishing and how he kind of disagrees with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do. I mean, look, like, am I going to punish it? Like Brian Latimer said, it's not my fault that you're poor. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, that's a fair comment, right?
Fair.
And like, all these guys are complaining about live scope. Like, what's the guy? Randy Blockett is always complaining about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, about how technology's gone too far. But I'm a purist. I think it's supposed to be a tool, but I think people use it more as a crutch. And, before they know it, half the tournament's over because they're chasing these fish everywhere. But then you have guys like Rolando Nandine going out there with his live scope and smoking the field in Hobie.
Dude, and
you know what I mean?
And Rolando, and to make sure that we're clear about this, he was catching before he had live scope. That dude's a stick.
Correct.
That is a stick.
Yeah.
It's just that when you can utilize it,
it makes him even way better.
So like when we as bass fishermen, I think we always knew how to catch them up top or when they're chasing, right? And then we came out with sonar, and then we knew how to catch them on the bottom really well. But the one thing we could never figure out was, like, how do we catch suspended fish? Well, then came forward-facing sonar. And so if you're somebody that's put in the time, there's basically no time where you can't catch them. Like, we solved bass fishing's, like, greatest mystery with forward-facing sonar.
Right. There was that gap,
and that is what is so great about it for guides. Like, when you have
crappie fishermen, it's the best for crappie, man.
But I'm talking about for guides. You know, like, that's their livelihood. They always want to take customers out and put them on fish.
Sure.
Now you have the tools to do it.
Right.
Now you don't have to be like, oh shit, they're suspending.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And like, I want that. And like, when you're practicing, it allows you to see them. Hey, like, watch how they're reacting. Are they suspending? Are they moving up and down? I don't want to see it in the tournament.
So you had said, I'm going to give you the credit for this. You had said that live scope filled a void that wasn't there in fishing. You've got the shallower water fishermen and you've got the deep water guys.
Yeah.
Live scope filled that void kind of like in the middle, in between, right?
It did.
It filled that jerkbait bite.
It's great.
You know what I mean? Like, suspended fish above like what was it? Patrick Walters over at
Yeah,
Fork.
yeah,
You know, found these fish suspended on top of wood.
yeah.
Would never have found them. No chance would have found them with
No shot.
other than forward facing sonar to win the
Yes,
tournament,
That's
right?
right.
Because those fish blend in on 2D.
Well, and it's not like that. It's like you can't see how they react.
Correct.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is that even if you were so good at side scan, you could be like, I think that's a fish on that stump.
Yeah.
But you pull a jerkbait by it, you never knowing if they're reacting.
Right.
Now you can see them come off
Come
the
off.
stump,
Yeah.
look
Right.
at it. You know,
Right.
like, are they coming hot? Are they coming really slow?
Correct.
Like, you're video game fishing. Yeah.
No question. But I'm mixed about it. Like, it's going to destroy co-angling, which, okay, it is what it is. And I'm a firm believer in that. I think the co-angling events are going to just like fall off the wayside because, again, these anglers are going to get so frustrated. But again, I think I'm excited about it because, dude, bigger fields, bigger pots, sponsors, and I mean, I think kayak fishing in the next 5 years is going to reap tremendous benefits from it, man. I really do.
What I hate about it is I don't really watch MLF anymore.
I can't stand the dink fields.
Well, I hate that, right?
Yeah.
I'm a 5 bass.
Bass guy. Yeah, me too.
Same. 2, I can't stand that when they're like, let's go live to somebody. They're like, yeah, Gay's going to eat it. Okay. So I was just using my live scope there and I saw him. I'm like,
we can't we can't see that.
I know. So we don't get the screen share. I saw somebody saying like, I'd like it if they just showed the screen. Even then, like,
there's such a glare, like technology wise, you can't do it. It has this like,
yeah,
you know how the cameras get on like cell phones and it has this like wave.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can't have it like that.
And it's not like that. It's like it's like such an outdoor thing. And for me, like I love like being away from my computer and my phone, and I get out there on the water, and then I'm sitting there watching a guy literally be like,
"Yeah,
I'm fishing." And I'm like, "No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, might as well, yeah. You just might as well go ahead and get
You're not fishing.
like Xbox or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
like make my fishing reel look like this, and I'll play Xbox and catch my fish and reel them in that way. Like I don't know. Man.
Okay,
like,
so here's the deal. Like
that's just me, man.
They outlawed the Alabama rig because it was an unfair advantage, right?
Well, that's what they said, but who can't afford an Alabama rig?
I understand that. You're exactly right. But, you know, this rig, like, caught so many fish, they thought it was an unfair, like, bait to use because it was so successful. I think the live scope is kind of that way. It's like the Alabama rig. Like, you know, how fair is it to nature when you're right on top of them, seeing everything that they do, and you can play with them? That takes the skill out of the sport.
Not only that, like, what is more fun, watching a guy catch 2 5-pounders at the same time on an Alabama rig, or watching a guy stare at a screen for 35
I'd rather take the Alabama rig all day
That's
long.
what I'm saying,
I mean,
man.
you know.
So, like, I just don't understand how bass and a lot of these other big, you know, bass fishing tournaments, how what do they view the entertainment as? Like, I don't get it.
I've heard. Like,
I don't get it.
Like, I've been watching these reviews, watching stuff on YouTube, and people are tired of professional bass fishing. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Like, it's refreshing when you have a Jason Christie.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's just refreshing when Jason Christie's flipping docks, not looking at a stupid live scope, feeling it out, punching, you know, grass, whatever it is, and becoming a fisherman. You know, like, that's refreshing, man. Like, I don't want to see some dude on 30 feet of water on a stupid live scope watching, you know, his bait going up and down. Like, oh, you see my line? There's my line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like,
come on, man.
And like, I don't want to beat it to death any more than we already have. But I will say that so many of the most recent events, viewership wise, that I feel like people talk about and do well for bass or MLF or whatever, it's when there is like a guy that is almost not even on his electronics.
Yeah.
Just going down the bank and throwing at what he sees. Yeah. Fishing. And if people are like, well, if you disallow that, don't allow electronics, fine. I don't care.
Hey, that's fine too.
I don't care.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You use your electronics during practice, know where all your points are.
Dude,
do it.
Maybe,
I don't care.
Maybe we ought to do it. Maybe we ought to do like a grassroots, no electronic tournament
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
saying.
Like that would be amazing. Like you can't have anything, like no electronics. And
Clifton does not use
like
electronics.
old time fishing. You know what I mean?
Clifton doesn't use electronics. I fished every tournament last year except 2 without electronics.
Yeah,
still catch them.
I fished Santee. I fished Santee. No joke. I fished Santee without electronics.
Well, don't say that because you didn't.
I had to because I wasn't going to take my electronics out, you know, and bring it in. I like on day 1. Yeah. I mean, because we pre-fished it, we knew what was going on. Day 2, 0 electronics, man.
Yeah, you
like,
caught them. Day 2, fishing.
Yeah. I mean, I just went fishing. Yeah,
and like I like that, man. You know, I like seeing these guys just go fishing and just see what they can do. And like Christie's so fun to watch for.
Dude, he's great,
man.
Yeah, he's great. But man, yeah, I mean, it was definitely exciting, man. It was. We've got some interesting things coming up, guys. I'm gonna tell you this right straight up. We've got the KBBT National Championship coming up, man.
It's gonna be great.
I can't wait. We're gonna do an announcement this weekend of the dates, the sign up, all that will be ready. Yep. We've got the last chance qualifier going on, the Elite 8 and Final 4, and then the championships next week. And guys, the KFL is getting ready to get started in June. And but I showed you a little bit. I showed you a little bit about the website. It looks amazing. Wait till you see about the fantasy and everything else we got going on. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's guys, we've been working hard, man. We've been working absolutely hard. So
yeah, Daniel, you are
Hackney is one of my favorites. Like
big time.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. But guys, we are going to have a good time. I'm going to try to get on the water sometime. Like, not tomorrow. It's supposed to blow like 25. Okay. But I'm going to try to get on the water sometime this weekend and have a good time, man. I can't wait, y'all. It's going to be fun.
I'm going to be just moving all my stuff down to Austin. And I don't even know when I'm going to get to fish my next tournament, man. I'm kind of salty about it at this point. I've been off the water a long time. Yeah,
I can tell, man. You got a little,
little drinking
a little scour.
little scour.
I hear you, man. Well, dude, man, guys, thanks for joining us. We're right up on the hour. We are, again, awesome. First time doing this show together. It's amazing. Great experience, man.
Dude, we did take a bet on Caddo. You know, you and I aren't fishing, but we should. I mean, we're taking bets.
Take a little bet.
Else. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we got to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to.
All right. Let's take 2 anglers. Do we have the field?
I don't have a field up.
All right.
I don't have it pulled up.
All right.
We can pull it up though.
Yeah, we can pull it up.
Pull it up.
All right. Let's pull up the field.
Yeah. And you want to go combined score, or you want to do whoever gets the highest finish?
Highest finished average. Yep.
Highest finished average. Okay.
KBF Caddo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because it's not in my dashboard because I'm not in the tournament, you idiot.
I was gonna say you're not in that tournament.
Yeah, I'm not in the tournament. Club.
Todd, that's a negative, I think. Greg will have to answer that, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
No,
that's a negative.
No, we're going to move that into the fall. Yeah, we're moving that in the fall.
I see team event.
Yeah, we're doing that in summer after the championship.
Yep.
So,
Bobby Lane also won on the bank. Yeah, he did.
He did. Won Red Crest on the bank.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, Trail Series Caddo. Here we go. 61 anglers.
Okay.
All right. Here's the field.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You can just say them as you go down if you want.
All right.
No, like not everyone. Like if you see someone you want to take, go ahead.
I'm taking Casey Reed.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you're not going to take Gene Jensen or Eric Polens? Damn, boy.
I was waiting on you.
Oh.
Yeah, I was waiting on you.
No, I'm just.
Okay. You want me to take my other one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm taking Dwayne Taft.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to take.
I got Casey and Dwayne.
Okay. I was going to take Dwayne.
All right.
But I was letting you have your.
All right.
Because it's technically closer to me. So I should give you the first picks. Ooh, man, there are some dudes in here that can fish, boy.
Oh, didn't see that name.
Yeah, you didn't, did you?
No.
You didn't see that one either.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, daggone.
I'm gonna take Matt Scott.
Gosh.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't see that name either.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Man.
really torn between Mike Elsey, who won a national
And
championship,
then had a great national championship this time around too.
or Matt Vaught, but I'm gonna go Mike Elsey and Matt Scott.
Oh, bitter. All right,
Yeah,
dude. All right, Plens. You better not suck. No, I didn't pick Plens, right? Okay, I didn't pick him. Good. All right, I didn't pick. I looked at Eric and I was like, oh no, man. So
wait, sorry. Is someone calling me a homer for picking Scott?
no, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, I am.
All
a
right,
homer.
I got Dwayne and Casey. All right,
Yeah.
I feel pretty good.
Do you?
Yeah,
For Scotch and Elsey?
yeah,
It's gonna be a good one.
It
We
is-
picked some good ones.
yeah. I mean, Dwayne. I mean, that's his jam. So
He's great on that lake.
yeah,
It's really good.
and Casey Reed's great on every lake. So you
But
know,
they opened Vista Nuts, so Scotch is
it's
Scott's
gonna be over.
Yeah, it's good.
It's gonna be over.
It's good.
I'll take Eric Siddiqui and Cody Milton. Yeah,
Well, neither one is on the list, so
I didn't see their names.
neither one's on the list.
Oh, they haven't registered yet.
Well, you can't pick out of non-registers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So, Todd, you're sitting at 0.
Oh my God, Jody Queen's in there.
I know.
Can I change my name?
Mm-mm.
No, I got it.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. That's
Well,
it.
Yep, Casey from Virginia for Greg. Exactly. All right, guys.
Oh,
We are. Yeah. Oh.
yeah, Greg's a homer.
Oh, he's calling me a homer.
Totally.
Virginians know how to fish, y'all.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
That is true, man. Y'all been actually doing really well.
Yeah, they've been showing out, man. Showing out. So, all right, we're out of here, guys. Thanks for joining us. We
Peace,
out
y'all.
of here from Florida. Peace.